This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Sunday morning. I'm Tim Gordon.
And I'm Christelle Kumwe. This morning on Sunrise, a week after a volcano eruption overwhelmed the nation of Tonga, a local group is working on ways to help. We'll hear from them coming up.
Plus, fathers who lost children to violence are helping support each other through their grief and fighting for solutions. But before we get to all that, let's check in with Chris McGinnis for a quick look at the forecast. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning to you guys in the studio. Hey, can you see anything on my camera this morning? Check this out. This is a live look from the Wells Fargo sky camera. It's out the Wells Fargo building in downtown Portland. It is a blanket of low clouds hovering over downtown. Above, it's clear. Below, we are stuck in the low clouds and, of course, fog out there this morning. Okay, so we are waking up to some pretty chilly temperatures as well. 33 degrees last check at PDX, but a lot of us are at or below freezing, and that means freezing fog and slick surfaces out there this morning. Scappoose right now and Hillsborough down to a quarter-mile visibility in fog. It's even less than that down towards Eugene. Interestingly, the southern part of the Willamette Valley under a dense fog advisory until 10 a.m. Not officially here in Portland, but again, as you saw with some of those cameras, there is some thick fog to be had here in downtown. It's 29 right now in Beaverton. It's 26 in Hillsborough, hence the concern for areas of freezing fog and slick roadways this morning. That also extends into eastern Oregon, out along Interstate 84 into the Columbia Basin and out towards the Pendleton area. All right, the plan for today, our Sunday, foggy start, a sunny finish, and in between the fog will slowly dissipate, the clouds will lift, and we should see some sunshine, but probably not until this afternoon. Guys, I do have us getting back up to about 50 degrees or so later today. Back to you.
Thanks, Chris. We begin this half hour with a local group of immigrants working on ways to help after last week's massive volcanic eruption and tsunami in Tonga.
And as KGW's Art Edwards found out, one of the biggest challenges people here have right now is getting information from Tonga.
The images of the aftermath of the volcanic eruption and tsunami that hit Tonga are startling. Buildings damaged and ash covering large portions of the island nation. Anita Katau Tuyaki is from Tonga and works for the immigrant and refugee community known as ERCO here in Portland. Her mom is still in Tonga.
When it first happened, I was actually with my mom on the phone when the volcano was erupted at that time. And so, because she called and she was saying, it's raining rocks and, asphalts right now.
She says at first there was no communication with her mom, and that was difficult to deal with.
But just the worry of not knowing what's happening. And so I've been able to speak to my mom and, that's a comfort feeling, knowing that everything is okay.
Aid began to arrive in Tonga on Thursday from numerous sources. Several flights from Australia landed with food, water, medical supplies, and communication equipment. Japan has also sent supplies, and the United States and Great Britain have ships on the way with aid. Members of the local Tongan community gathered in northeast Portland. They exchanged information about their families and the situation in their home nation.
Now it's kind of like, how can we move forward and how can we help?
Now, Katau Tuyaki believes fresh water and cleanup of debris and ash are the biggest needs right now. So far, they've been among the top issues reported by crews in Tonga.
Portland police are investigating a deadly hit and run this morning. The driver who did it is still out there. Officers were called to 160th Avenue in Powell just after 7 o'clock last night. Witnesses say a pedestrian was hit by a vehicle and the driver left the scene. Officers were not able to track that driver, and now they're asking for your help. Anyone with information is asked to contact Portland police.
And down in Kaiser, one person is dead from a crash that police are investigating as a DUI. Police say Andrew Modine's car left the road twice, once on Lock Haven Drive, the other time on Trail Avenue. That second time, the car hit a power pole, then crashed into a home. 2 people were inside that home. One was sent to the hospital with serious injuries. The other was pronounced dead at the scene in that home. Modine is charged with several crimes, including manslaughter in the first degree. Well, a Portland teenager is in trouble, accused of driving under the influence, speeding away from police, and causing a fiery crash. Officers were on patrol just before 1 o'clock Saturday morning. That's when they saw a BMW go through a red light at Southeast 122nd and Division. They put on their lights and started to follow that car, but the driver sped up. Police shut down their lights and backed off, but the BMW kept going, then crashed into a car while running another red light at Powell. A passenger was stuck inside the BMW after the crash, and police had to get them out as the car burned. The suspected driver took off on foot, but officers quickly caught him. 19-year-old Alejandro Velasquez is charged with multiple crimes. Detectives say everyone else involved in that crash should be okay.
Organizers of a Portland event want to help fathers who lost their children make their way through the painful grieving process. The goal of Saturday's brunch for the fathers of murdered children was to make a safe space to acknowledge grief. Royal Harris organized the event. He lost his brother to gun violence 9 years ago. He says men and their grief isn't always acknowledged, and this is an effort to provide that kind of space.
I think the greatest thing this event provides is an acknowledgement that there are others who are aware of their pain and want to help them through that process.
The dozens of people that attended the brunch discussed healing tools like meditation. They also had a therapist offering free services. To learn more, head to our story on KGW.com. Turning now to the pandemic. The Omicron variant is proving again it's hard to know where COVID-19 will take us.
But health experts in Multnomah County are looking ahead. We talked to Dr. Jennifer Vines and Jessica Guernsey as well as they prepare for what they hope will be a slow, steady climb out of the pandemic. Eventually, we will get to a place where COVID becomes endemic, meaning it doesn't disappear, but fades and is more manageable with other priorities. One of the priorities, addressing ongoing racial and ethnic disparities that COVID has more fully uncovered.
When people ask me, are we ever going back? We shouldn't go back. We shouldn't go back. And what I mean broadly by that is that we have numerous health outcomes that are devastating in BIPOC communities that we need to continue to focus on.
You know, we have passed the 2-year mark now since the first case of COVID was identified in the U.S. It was right here in the Pacific Northwest.
Restaurants across the Portland metro area still face challenges daily, changing and changing again to remain open during the pandemic. While several found success, others couldn't keep moving forward. Alma McCarty spoke with owners in the industry about what is next and how they are regrouping.
Early on in the COVID-19 pandemic, restaurants everywhere struggled to stay afloat. The virus new and unpredictable.
Every day I remember this feeling of like, if we can make it through today, we'll try to make it through tomorrow.
Nearly 2 years later, that struggle is still the case for some.
It's just been a pivot over and over and over again. We've built greenhouses outside. We've built carports. We've built barriers. We're trying to find a way to not close.
Nate Tilden, co-owner of various restaurants around town, says the time has come to close one for good. Clyde Common in the heart of downtown.
We were part of the movement that really put Portland on the map. What we did with Clyde Common, 2007, we created a hotel, bar, and restaurant that was independently owned. I was the owner with a couple partners, silent partners. We said, what if this was like the place to be? Both food, both cocktail, wine program, energy. I think we can do groundbreaking work, and we did.
His objective now to keep open the restaurants that can thrive, like Bar Casa Valle in Southeast Portland.
It's our duty to do everything we can to keep the lights on.
During the COVID time, we were just sort of ramping up to full operation, and then the fire.
Back downtown, Bob Cassidy, owner of Cassidy's Restaurant on Southwest Washington, says despite a building fire above the restaurant last summer that forced a temporary closure, he's ready to return sometime this spring. Now, having had more time to reflect on what he wants this place to be for his customers as he rebuilds.
We're going to do fine. It's going to be different. It's going to be different. It's going to be a challenge, but everyone who's in this industry can say that same thing.
Though setbacks persist, both say they're looking forward to the future of the industry and they're ready to work for it, hoping the scene will fully rebound.
I think the Portland restaurant scene will come back. I mean, there's no end to creative people who want to do cool things and want to go into business and make amazing food.
And we sure hope it comes back, that's for sure. Well, how are the roads in Oregon and Washington? What about the safety laws?
Well, coming up in 2 minutes, the report cards for the Northwest from a major safety group and the work that still needs to be done.